By treating yourselves the way you want others to treat you, you are sending the message out to all who are a match to treating you in that way. Every time you run away from something, you are only weakening yourselves. And the more you give yourself a break and loosen up on all of your goals and things that you want to accomplish in a day, the more you will find that those around you are also cutting you slack. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. Today we're reading some really fascinating channelings by the founders. The founders are channeled by Daniel Scranton. These you can find in the book Channeled Wisdom from Higher Dimensional Beings, Volume 2. The founders are similar to the creators. Daniel Scranton channels a number of beings, including Ophelia the Fairy, the Hathors, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and of course the Arcturian Council channelings, which I read every week. I always find something new and different in each of these channelings, and we have read from the founders before. This is the second time we've read from the founders' channelings, and this covers a variety of interesting topics, including do unto yourself, your net worth, following through, all aspects of you, synchronicities, everyone can channel, shadows and light, becoming conscious creators. Do unto yourself. Blessings. By treating yourselves the way you want others to treat you, you are sending the message out to all who are a match to treating you in that way. It behooves all of you to first decide how you want to be treated by others, and then to focus on how you can bring that energy to your self-talk, to your self-care, and to the way that you look at yourself. It is high time that all of you stop expecting others to fill in the gaps to be for you what you refuse to be for yourself. This is how you master your relationships. You master your relationships by first making that relationship with yourself the most important one. By seeing yourself as a being who is worthy of receiving love, affection, respect, and everything else that you desire from a partner. If you ask too much of yourself in any situation, you will likely see that reflection from a partner or even a friend. You will find that there is no end to what others will ask of you. And the more you give yourself a break and loosen up on all of your goals and things that you want to accomplish in a day, the more you will find that those around you are also cutting you slack. If you want to be adored, then adore yourself. If you want to be held in high esteem, then hold yourself in high esteem. If you want to be treated with respect, then respect yourself enough to give yourself what you need. Be playful about this. Be a friend to yourself first, and show yourself just how much love you have to give to any other who you might partner up with. What you want. The founders. Blessings. Until you decide what it is that you want, you can rest assured that you will be given many choices, and those choices are put there by you so that you can get a feel for what your options are. Once you decide what it is that you want, your work is done. You are then given the option of working for what you want or relaxing into it. You are then given the choice to become attached to what you want or to be satisfied with what you have. You are going to find that there will always be something that is calling you. So you might as well accept there will always be something that is not currently in your experience, but that you can be certain you are moving towards. It would not be on your radar, so to speak, if you were not in the vicinity. One of the most important pieces in becoming aligned with what you want is seeing it as your equal and as seeing yourself as a part of it. And it is a part of you. You will find that loving yourself regardless of how far off you want feels will also be a sound practice in receiving. If you feel less because you do not have what you want, then what you want will elude you, because the whole idea is to recognize that what you want is within you and to seek the experience of it through you. Then as it materializes in front of you, you're able to recognize it as yours and you are able to receive it. Your net worth. The founders. Blessings. All that you are could not ever be summed up in any way that would make sense to your physical mind. You cannot possibly comprehend all that you are. You are immeasurable and indefinable. Therefore, the idea that you could somehow quantify your worth by how much money you have or assets is a bit comical to those of us who can see you, who can really see all that you are. There's a tendency for each of you to define yourselves by how much you have. how much you make, and whether or not you are holding down a respectable position. So the way that you quantify yourselves numerically in that way is not only inaccurate, it is also detrimental to the recognition of who and what you really are. So the next time you get caught up in measuring yourself and quantifying yourself or your net worth, put that on hold and instead feel your infinite and eternal nature. Feel for the expansiveness that you really are. Let your consciousness get lost in itself, in your own vastness, and be in awe of that which you are. Feel your energy lighting up as you engage in this small, little process that is designed to give you but a glimpse of what you're actually worth. You are infinite, eternal beings, and there is only your perceptions of that which you are as it relates to what you really are, and you will feel the difference when you acknowledge this, and you will know that what we are saying to you is true. Your inner dimensions, the founder's blessings. When there is nowhere else to turn, you go within. When you have exhausted all other avenues, that is when your inner dimensions become undeniably the next and final step. We encourage all of you to seek this avenue first rather than last. See your inner dimensions as the one that offers you the most potential, and give yourselves ample opportunities to explore that world. No one outside of you is going to be able to deliver to you what you can get within yourself. If you're able to live your life without seeking inner strength, inner wisdom, and the ability to feel precisely how you want to feel, then you will find that the outside source for all of this will somehow be taken away. This is not a punishment. This is simply a redirection so that you will know once and for all that you are the ones who can and do provide yourselves with everything that you need and everything that you want. Take a look inside yourselves right now and feel for what is available, for what is waiting for you. Know the power of your inner dimension and fear not what you will discover. You are the only path for you. Everything else in this life of yours is for the expression of that which you find when you go deep within yourselves and discover your light. No right and no wrong. The founder's blessings. After all is said and done, you are not capable of making a mistake. You are not here to fulfill some preordained destiny, and you are not here because Earth is some sort of proving ground. You are here to experience, and all of you are doing that all the time. So not one of you is messing things up. Not one of you is doing a better job than anyone else, because you are all having your experiences. When you awaken, you become more aware of your experiences and how to choose them. You become more conscious and know what it is that you want to experience and how to get there. One of the ways in which you do this is by recognizing the frequency you are holding. The frequency you are holding, as it turns out, is not only how you create reality, it is how you experience reality. You can experience reality through the five senses, and you can work to create the best possible experiences that you can have, by your definition, through your five senses. But even those senses are just means of interpreting vibration. So you're always having an experience that is frequency based. And when you discover this, you can let go of the need for everything around you to be perfect or pleasing to you in some way. And instead, you can focus on your frequency. You can focus on the vibration of all that is in your experience and whether that vibration is one that you want to continue to experience. But you see, the experience of your reality is yours to choose, and that is why there is no right and no wrong. Because you will always experience the impact of your frequency, and that is, in a sense, your karma. But you get to decide what your karma will be in this moment and in the next. You do not have to worry that something that you did eons ago is now coming to bite you in the butt, because you are determining the way that you experience everything, even those things you decided upon before you were born into this lifetime. Following through. The founder's blessings. As you follow through with your allowing, as you exercise that ability to see something to its very end, you give yourselves more of an opportunity to explore depth, and depth provides you with greater insights into who and what you are. Following through means not giving up. It means going further than you thought you ever could. It means diving deeper. Every time you run away from something, you are only weakening yourselves. But giving yourselves the fullest possible experience will set you free in ways that running never could. You all have the ability to do this. You just don't exercise it as often as you could. Most of you are seeking one experience after another without fully engaging with the experience you are currently engrossed in. And this is fine if that is how you want to live your lives, but we understand that most of you are seeking to go deeper and to go further. And following through is the simplest and easiest way to do so. All that is required of you is that you hold your ground, standing firm and tall in the face of the slings and arrows. We are not asking you to become martyrs or masochists. What we are saying here is that if you recognize that you have a pattern to run from conflict or pain, to give up before you go to the good part, seek the strength that you need to carry on from within you. And know that the strength is always there to meet whatever challenge has caused you to run in the past. All aspects of you, the founders. By opening yourselves to that which is in front of you and seeing it as a part of you, you give yourselves the opportunity to be all that you are. Whenever you deny an aspect of that which you are, regardless of whether you consider it to be positive or negative, you also then deny yourselves access to another aspect. And this renders you less powerful and gives you the impression that you are not the whole. So notice when you are looking at someone else and their behavior or their beliefs and thinking that you are nothing like them, and possibly even thinking that you are better than them. This will not give you the result that you seek. This is an elevation of self. The only way to truly elevate yourselves is to take it all on as your own and remove the weight from it. Remove the judgment, remove the stigma, remove the shame and trauma, and see yourselves in all of God's creation, whether it is an aspect that you are choosing to activate in this moment or not. It is still a part of you. It is still a part of all that is. And the only way for you to truly know yourselves as God is to see it all as you, and to see it all as perfect, just as it is. Your ability to do so is only dependent on one thing: choice. You must make the choice again and again to see it all as divine, perfect, and a reflection of something that exists within you. And the only way for you to get where you are ultimately going is to love freely and unconditionally all aspects of who you are and who you have been. Feel it. The founders. Blessings. We understand that so much of what you're living has been given you the impression that you are doing something wrong, that you're not very good creators at all. We understand how many of you either arrive at that conclusion or lose your faith altogether in the idea that you create your reality. It is easy to see how you can lose your faith in that way. So we do want to assure you that the reality that you create is your creation. And we want you to understand that creating your reality is multi-layered in its process. You are just one of the layers involved. And when you are experiencing something that is not to your liking, it does not mean that you have somehow screwed it all up. What it means is that you're able to see only a fraction of that which has been created. And so from your perspective, it may seem as though you have failed. And that assumption on your part keeps you from seeing that which is coming to you and that which is already there. It sometimes requires you to use your sixth sense to experience the creation that is not yet manifested in the physical reality. But you can feel it. You can feel its presence. We recommend that you search your immediate surroundings for one of your desires, that you do so energetically. Feel around your energy field. And when you do, you may be surprised at what you find. You may have thought that the relationship, the body, or the financial stability that you've been seeking was somehow far out there and not coming anytime soon. But if you can feel it in the air, then you can feel it within you. And that is the easiest way for you to recognize that you do in fact create your reality. Your reality just has a bit of a challenge at times keeping up with you. Synchronicities. The founders. Blessings. Be aware of how many synchronicities are happening in your experience. Be aware of their significance as well, for everything means something, and your synchronicities are not just about giving you a moment of pleasure. Your synchronicities give you the message that awareness breeds more of what you want. In order for you to receive that which you desire to experience, it is necessary for you to be aware. It is necessary for you to notice how you're feeling, what vibration you are putting out, what you're focusing on, and anything else that you could be aware of, such as your beliefs and your expectations. If you were really paying attention, you would notice that the synchronicities are all around you. so that the synchronicities are helping to encourage you to pay more attention so that you may recognize exactly what you are moving towards. There are no coincidences in the sense that two things just happened to have occurred at the same time or in the same day. You are constantly notifying yourselves from your higher dimensional aspects. You are giving yourselves a plethora of information, codes, and other vibrational downloads, and they are meant to awaken you. Sometimes they are meant to shake things up, and sometimes they are meant to give you a boost or some encouragement. So take note of the synchronicities that are occurring and do get excited about them, because the more of them that you see, the more you can be assured that you are in fact paying attention, listening, and heeding the advice that you are getting, the little nudges and nods. Let yourselves know what powerful creators you are by asking for more synchronicities and finding them and celebrating them. And then give yourselves credit for being so aware and so awake. The power of focus. The founder's blessings. Focus is your primary tool. It will give you that which you seek. Focus is more than just attention to something. Focus enables you to become one with that which you are focusing on, to give you the experience of what you're focusing on. Now, focus is your primary means of creating, and it allows you and affords you the opportunity to shift so you can focus on one particular thing or circumstance or person for a particular amount of time, and then you can put your focus somewhere else. You are not required to focus on anything or anyone, but you are invited at times by the object or by the person or by the circumstance that you want to see. Sometimes you feel compelled. But when you are focusing on whatever it is you're focusing on, you get to choose the way you focus upon it. You get to decide whether your perspective is the one you want to be holding as you focus. This is another tool for you as you awaken to your feelings about what it is you're focusing on. Your ability to feel tells you what you need to know as long as you're paying attention to it. It is up to you what you focus on, how you focus on it, and when you shift your focus to something else. And that all gives you power. Not the power to control the outside world, but rather the power to control your experience of it. And that, dear ones, is all you ever need. Everyone can channel the founder's blessings. It may come as a surprise to some of you to have the ability to engage with those like us easily and openly. You may believe that channeling is something that a select few can do, but we want each of you to know that you are fully capable of awakening an ability to access consciousness that is different from your normal waking state. We derive great pleasure in telling you this because we seek to create more partnerships like the one we have formed with this channel here. We desire to open you up to more, and channeling is one of the easiest ways to do that. You all experience yourselves as different beings within the same lifetime. You get to know yourselves in a variety of different ways because you play different roles and because you change as you grow up and grow old. What if you got to decide who you were in every moment? What if instead of looking in the mirror or at your past for evidence of who you are and who you should be, you just chose in the moment to be someone else, to activate an aspect of yourself that you had never experienced before? What would that be like? We can tell you that it is great fun, and we encourage you to allow yourselves to access more, not because it is necessary, but because expanding gives you more opportunities for experience. And you all signed up to have a variety of experiences. What you do with the connections you make is up to you, but you all can and will make them. You are feelings-based beings, the founders. As most of you have already accepted, you are feeling-based beings. You are experiencers, and your feelings are how you experience. The feelings themselves have no judgments attached to them. They are what they are. Now, as you experience the feeling state, you then create a story to go along with it. Your minds want to make sense of what you're feeling, and your minds attempt to make deductions so that you'll be able to control what it is you feel and what it is you avoid feeling, what it is you have no cause to feel. And this is how your hearts and your minds become at odds with each other, because some feelings do not make sense and never will. So how do you reconcile your feelings with your thoughts? What is the secret to navigating this life experience of yours? We believe that the answer lies within your ability to discern. Your ability to discern and to decide. These are much more important than your ability to deduce. And that is what we want to leave you with here today. We want you to be able to tell the difference between the subtleties of your feelings and to decide which ones you prefer. And all you have to do then is allow all other feelings to exist within you as potentialities that you could activate and may choose to in some moment in time. But perhaps you do not choose them in this moment, and perhaps instead you choose something like joy, love, peace, freedom, or excitement. Shadows and light, the founders. Blessings. Shadows are a part of your everyday landscape. They add to that which you see, giving it perspective. The only way to remove a shadow is also to remove the light. But many of you would prefer that there is only light. And you see, if that were the case, you would lose your perspective. You would have nothing to give you that sense of balance. Now, within the shadow, there's always something to be gained. There is always that which is beneath the surface of the shadow. That is where all the goodies lie. So if you dismiss something because of its shadowy existence, or you ignore it, you will miss out on the depth and the layers that it can give you. We are speaking in metaphor now, but we will not tell you what the shadow represents because it is different for each of you. One person's shadow is another person's light. It all depends upon perspective. When you embrace your shadow, whatever it may be to you, you give yourself an opportunity to discover more of what makes you the experiencer of the shadow and the light. And as you become adept at shining your light and casting your shadow, you can create something new, something beautiful, something that has never been experienced before. And that is truly why you begin this dance of shadows and light. Listen to the vibrations, the founders, blessings. Just by listening to the sounds that are audible to you at any time, you are opening yourselves up to a firmer grasp on what vibration, frequency, and energy are all about. If you want to train yourselves to be able to access or modify a frequency within you, practice through the art of listening. Feel the shift in your energy as you notice the quality or frequency of the vibration of any sound that you are capable of tuning into. Feel the resonance or the discord. Listen for the nuance and feel where in your bodies the tones and sounds are hitting you and affecting you. Become masters of listening and tuning yourselves to the energy that you prefer to experience. There are many sounds that are audible to you that you more or less ignore throughout your day. Every day, once in a while, a sound will really get your attention, but for the most part they are background noise and you do not give them much of your attention. But sound is a powerful tool, and one that you can utilize in creating the reality that you prefer. Start by listening. Start by noticing the vibrations of the sounds you are aware of. And then in time you'll be able to make sounds on your own that hold the frequency of the energy that you prefer to experience. This is something that is very simple and fun, and an easy way for all of you to grasp how you will modulate and temper your own frequency. Feel your way through this process and you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded because you will have taken command of the vibrations you hold, and nothing is more important than that. No better and worse. The founders. Blessings. As you witness the evolution of consciousness that is happening within you and all around you, you may feel tempted to compare what has been to what is and where you're going. You may see the evolution of your consciousness and of the human race as a necessity because things on your world are in such a state of disarray. But you may give it a stronger word than that, and we suggest to all of you that you see it all as equal, not better and worse, not even as lighter and darker. We suggest that you see the beauty in all experience, that you give every single experience its due. Let go of the need to compare the third dimension to the fifth dimension, or any dimension to any other dimension. It's not as though higher frequency dimensions are better than lower frequency ones. They are different, and they allow for different types of experiences. Your evolution happens not to save yourselves from self-destruction. Your evolution of consciousness happens because you cannot help but live, and you cannot help but expand through what you live. You are never going to regress. You are never going to find yourselves backsliding, and your expansion can come consciously or unconsciously. Your evolution can be a joyous or a painful experience. You can struggle through it or you can relax into it. It is up to you. You are deciding, and perhaps the least obvious judgment that you are releasing is the judgment that says there is something wrong with where you are and where you have been, and only when you get to where you are going will you really start living. Start living now, and start by loving yourselves just as you are. Start by seeing every experience you are having not only as valid, but also as beautiful. We are the founders, we are the keepers of the flame. Becoming conscious creators. The founders, blessings. When you discover that you do have the ability to be clear in the face of confusion, to be whole in the face of fragmentation, and to feel peace in the face of chaos, that is when you will taste what it is like to truly be a conscious creator. Being a conscious creator does not only mean that which you get is what you want. That is one aspect of being a conscious creator. Those abilities to manifest and create circumstances, events, objects, and people into your lives is the way that most of you have been operating as conscious creators. And all of that has served you very well because it has shown you how powerful you are. Many of you now recognize that without a doubt you are the creators of your reality. But your primary creation is yourself, and your state of being is your primary way of knowing yourself fully. So when you witness yourself surrounded by energies that you do not prefer, that is an opportunity to demonstrate to yourselves once and for all that you can create the energetic experience that matches your desire. And that kind of power is far more significant than your ability to get that car that you want, the house that you want, or the mate that you want. Because when you can hold your frequency even when the energies all around you are tempting you to let it go, that is when you no longer need to manifest or create a different reality than the one you are experiencing. And that is true mastery. That is what you all really want. So we suggest that you practice and practice and practice. Give yourselves the experience you prefer no matter what is happening around you. We are the founders. We are the keepers of the flame. Letting go and letting in. The founders, blessings. There is always a time when you feel that you cannot go on living the way that you have been living, no matter whether it be in your relationships, your work, or with certain health challenges. You often come to a knowing that you've had enough. Now, this moment of feeling absolutely fed up and ready to move on to something else is a very powerful moment for you. Because in that moment, you are choosing something new, something that goes beyond what you have been living. And so having your moment of clarity catapults you to the next thing. It does, without any work on your part, without any need for you to make something happen. But what happens with most of you is that you believe you do need to take some sort of action, and the actions that you take are usually quite futile. What you really seek in that moment is to let go. You seek to let go and let in that which is next. And you do that energetically. You do that without even trying, but your reality does not shift around you as quickly as the energy, and that leaves many of you feeling frustrated, angry, or even depressed. But if in that moment of feeling fed up, done, and ready for something new, if you were to believe fully that what is new is coming to you and is already on its way, then you could relax and you could release your resistance to your current situation. And that is what you're really wanting to do. You want to be able to say that you are done with something without needing to destroy it. And this is true to your political and economic systems as well. It is applicable to all areas of life. So we encourage you to recognize the moment and to smile and believe that your work is done in that moment. The only thing left for you to do is to get excited about what is next. We are the founders. We are the keepers of the flame. The paths to enlightenment, the founders, blessings. By now it is perfectly clear to all of you that there is more than one way, that you do not have to follow one path or one set of rules in order to reach an enlightened state of being. Part of the fun of this incarnation for all of you is creating the new path. You don't have to find the one path that you had laid out before incarnating for yourself. You get to be the trailblazers. You get to decide. which direction to move in next. You get to decide where your loyalties lie. You get to decide who you are and your place in all of it. None of that is determined by a force outside of you. You put yourself on this path, but you also knew that you would have the ability to improvise, to seek a new way of discovering and living a very old truth. We are talking about the truth of your existence as beings of light and love. And we know that you all get it. And you all want to actualize that which you are and to embody it, live it. And you also have the walls that you put up. Those walls crumble in the face of your light. So you see, you are the way. You are the path. You are the only truth you ever need to cling to. And your willingness and desire to shine your light, even when you have absolutely no reason to, that is what takes you down the path that has the most joy, the most fun, and the most interesting adventures. You never have to struggle or try to be enlightened. All you need to do is seek that light within you, shine it brightly, see the paths in front of you, and take the one you are drawn to in the moment. We are the founders. We are the keepers of the flame. So I really find these particular channelings very entertaining and fun to read. They're much shorter in terms of each channeling than the Arcturian channelings. They pack a punch. It would appear that the founder's focus is on feelings. Feelings being a way for us to see if a manifestation is coming our way, to avoid reacting to what is happening in the moment, and to look back at the bigger picture. We also can see a way of utilizing the feelings to subtly understand the different things that are happening to us. They teach us to understand our shadows, the shadows being the right place for us to find the truth of what's happening within us. The world is being created around us by what we create within us, in those inner dimensions. And you decide. They also teach that part of the process of reaching that reality that we want to create is letting go. And then letting the energy in. We learn how to let the energy into our energy field. This is an important distinction for many. This process of letting go and letting in is different than some of the ways that other entities teach reality creation or reality creation teachers in general. They explore so many other topics like the power of focus, all aspects of you, synchronicities, the way that we are feeling-based beings. I would love to know your favorite part of this channeling, and if you want me to read more of the founders, I would be happy to do so. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.